Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that has captivated humanity for decades: unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. But we're not just talking about blurry photos or second-hand stories. We're looking at cases so compelling, so well documented, that they've made even the most hardened skeptics pause and wonder. These are the UFO encounters that are incredibly difficult to deny. Let's start with one of the most famous cases in modern history, the Phoenix Lights. On the evening of March 13th, 1997, thousands of people across Arizona, including the state's governor, Fife Symington, witnessed something extraordinary. They saw a series of lights, some in a massive V-shaped formation, moving silently and slowly across the night sky. The object was estimated to be over a mile wide. Initially, the US Air Force claimed the lights were simply flares dropped from an A-10 Warthog aircraft during a training exercise. And yes, there was a training exercise that night, but this explanation didn't sit right with many witnesses. The V-shape was described as a solid craft, blocking out the stars behind it. Flares drift down with the wind and burn out. They don't maintain a perfect, silent formation for hours. Years later, Governor Symington, a former Air Force pilot himself, publicly admitted he had seen the object and was convinced it was not man-made. He said, "I'm a pilot, and I know just about every machine that flies. It was bigger than anything that I've ever seen. It remains a great mystery." When a governor and thousands of citizens from all walks of life describe the same colossal silent craft, you have to admit, the flare explanation just doesn't quite cover it. Next, let's travel to Belgium for what's known as the Belgian UFO wave. Between 1989 and 1990, thousands of reports flooded in about large triangular-shaped UFOs flying low and silently over the country. This wasn't just a few isolated sightings. We're talking about a phenomenon witnessed by military personnel, police officers, and countless civilians. The Belgian Air Force took these reports very seriously. On the night of March 30th, 1990, they scrambled two F-16 fighter jets to intercept one of these objects, which had been detected on multiple ground and airborne radar systems. The pilots made visual contact with a dark triangular craft adorned with bright lights. What happened next is stunning. The pilots attempted to lock their targeting systems onto the object. Each time they got a lock, the craft would accelerate at speeds and perform maneuvers that were simply impossible for any known aircraft. It would drop thousands of feet in a second or speed away so fast it would break the lock instantly. The Belgian military was so baffled that they held a press conference releasing radar data, pilot testimonies, and even a photograph of the object. Major General Wilfried de Brouwer, after a thorough investigation, concluded, "There was a phenomenon there. The Air Force has arrived to the conclusion that a certain number of anomalous phenomena has been produced. The day will come when the phenomenon will be observed with technological means of detection and collection that won't leave a single doubt of its origin." When a nation's military openly investigates and admits they encountered technology far beyond their own, it's a powerful piece of the puzzle. Now let's turn our attention to an incident that involves direct interaction with a United States Navy carrier strike group, the 2004 Nimitz encounter. This isn't a story from decades ago. This is a modern, well-documented event involving some of the most advanced military hardware on the planet. In November 2004, the USS Nimitz carrier group was conducting training exercises off the coast of San Diego. For 2 weeks, the advanced SPY-1 radar system on the USS Princeton had been detecting multiple anomalous aerial vehicles, or AAVs. These objects would appear suddenly at 80,000 feet, then plummet to just above sea level in seconds, a feat that would crush any human pilot. Finally, a decision was made to send out a flight of FA-18 Super Hornets to investigate. Commander David Fravor and his wingman approached the location. What they saw was a patch of churning white water in an otherwise calm sea, as if something large was submerged just beneath the surface. Hovering erratically above this disturbance was a smooth, white, oblong object with no wings, no rotors, and no visible propulsion system. Fravor described it as a 40-foot-long tic-tac. As Fravor descended to get a closer look, the tic-tac object seemed to react. It mirrored his movements, then shot up towards him, before peeling away and vanishing. Fravor was stunned. He returned to the carrier, but the story wasn't over. Another jet, launched shortly after, was equipped with an advanced infrared camera. It managed to capture the now famous FLIR 1 video. The footage shows the tic-tac object hovering, then accelerating to the left at a speed that defies our understanding of physics and aerodynamics. The radar operator on the Princeton later reported that seconds after it vanished from Fravor's sight, it reappeared on radar 60 miles away. This incident wasn't a fleeting glimpse, it was a multi-day, multi-platform encounter, tracked on a super-advanced radar system, witnessed by decorated fighter pilots and captured on video. The pilots involved, like David Fravor and Alex Dietrich, have gone on the record describing the object's performance as otherworldly. When your best pilots and best technology are completely outmatched, you have to ask, what are we dealing with? These cases, Phoenix, Belgium, and the Nimitz, are just the tip of the iceberg. They stand out because of the sheer number of credible witnesses, the involvement of military and government officials, and the corroborating data from advanced technology like radar and infrared cameras. These aren't just lights in the sky, they are structured craft-performing maneuvers that are, by our current standards, impossible. The official release of the Nimitz videos by the Pentagon in 2020, along with other similar videos, has changed the conversation entirely. The US government now openly acknowledges the existence of what they call unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP. They have a dedicated office to study them. This isn't a fringe topic anymore. It's a matter of national security and scientific inquiry. Of course, it's important to remain critical and question everything. Not every strange light is an alien spacecraft. But in cases like these, where every conventional explanation, from weather balloons to secret military projects to instrument malfunction, has been examined and found wanting, we are left with a profound mystery. To dismiss the combined testimony of thousands of witnesses, including governors, pilots, and generals, and to ignore clear data from our most sophisticated sensors, seems more closed-minded than entertaining the possibility that we are not alone. The evidence is mounting, and it's becoming harder and harder to ignore. We live in a universe that is vast and full of wonders we are only beginning to understand. Perhaps some of those wonders have been visiting us for a very long time. What do you think? Have these cases convinced you? Or do you have another explanation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a fascinating conversation to have. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. See you next time.